Hey everybody, we're about to get started here at Pop Culture Philosophers for Rockin Robbie Live, but I do want to point out we are less than 2 months away from the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo, April 18th and 19th at the Von Braun Center in Huntsville, Alabama. Join me and the rest of the excitable PCP crew. We always have a grand old time there. We'll have a panel this year as we did the last 2 years. It's always fun. Come meet me, Brooks, Jelani, and others. And yeah, Brooks, what amazing person. We'll be here in just a second, starting. Y'all get ready. Hey everybody, welcome to Rockin Robbie Live here on Pop Culture Philosophers. I am Rockin Robbie Billups. I do appreciate everybody being here. We already got some people in the chat, people talking, all that jazz and more. Once you get in here, let me know that you're here. Give a shout out, say what's up, and we'll start talking about comic books, movies, pop culture, and a whole lot more. I will encourage everybody to hit that like button. It really helps us out here in the YouTube algorithms. Tonight, we will be taking a look at this new comic book week. The comic books coming out for February 26th. We'll take a look at those. We'll talk a little bit about Dan DiDio, believe it or not. Can you imagine? We'll talk about the new Batman costume for the movie. And I got a lot of nice show and tell. But we always start with the pick of the week. So I'll ask you, what was your favorite comic book of last week? And as everybody's getting that going, any question, comment, anything like that, bring it in. This show is driven by your comments, by your questions. It's an Ask Me Anything night. It's not a Teen Dog Shades night. But there's one of those coming soon. You know, I almost considered it. I was like, maybe I should go Teen Dog Shades. But, I was like, I'm going to be talking about Dan DiDio tonight. We don't need to put the shades on for that. I don't want to piss people off too much. Anyway, what's up, PCP Army? How are you doing? That's right. The PCP Army, by the way, is the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. You can join us. You can also like Pop Culture Philosophers on Facebook. We're on Instagram. You can follow me on Twitter at The Rockin Robbie. And we're on Patreon. So as far as Patreon goes, I'm hearing audio distortion. Let me know if you hear that as well. If that's just my end, I need to know. Hey, everybody, we got some people in here right now. All right, is anybody hearing audio distortion aside from me? Check. Audio's good on your end. Okay, that's super cool then. That's just my headphones. Yeah, it just fixed itself. Cool. Good to know. All right. Let me look back at your comments real quick. That's really bothering me. So let me look at your comments and let me know what your favorite comic book of last week was. Mine was Wonder Woman Dead Earth number 2. All right, audio seems cool for everybody else. Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, what I'm hearing in my end right now is really obnoxious. All right, what's up, Kitten Puke? What's up, Jesse Say What? What's up, Sam Fett? What's up, Reggie? The Reggie, that's right, Double G Reggie, the Reggie, who's not only one of our Patreons, but he has also been the biggest supporter of us for a while now and has pretty much almost single-handedly bought us the new camera, which we have dubbed the Reggie. So, there you go. Reggie, good to see you. Different X Minds, y'all ready to pour one out for Dan DiDio's tenure at DC? Heck yeah, I'm not going to pour it out on the ground. I'll pour it down my throat. Anyway. Sebastian, what's up? Yo, let's get this out of the way, all right? Dan DiDio out of DC, thoughts? Well, that is definitely going to be a topic. We'll get to that. What's up, Samuel? I think there are some unsubstantiated reports about DC wanting to pull in new talent who aren't from the typical talent pool. For example, no more Dan Jurgens. I don't know if Dan's necessarily the only one that needs to go if that's your concern. But we'll get to all that. What's up, Mark? What's up, Aaron? What's up, Logan? What's up, Sam? Yeah, hit that like button, everybody. It really helps us out. Now, we got a lot of people here. What's up, Daisy Falls? What's up, Bear Island? What's up? We got Issues. S Squared's in the building. What's up, Roger? Eddie? Brooke? Wonder Woman Dead Earth was super rad. Yeah, that was my pick of the week. I loved it. I just thought it was amazing. Like, Wolverine was really good. Red Mother was really good. But to me, like, honestly, it was Dead Earth. Dead Earth was the pick of the week. It was just such an improvement over the first issue. And the first issue was awesome. I loved the first issue. So the idea that the second issue would even make it more profound and tragic, and the action and everything, the stakes, everything went up on issue number 2, and that was amazing. And the balance of it all, it's comic book perfection is what it is. And that's Wonder Woman Dead Earth number 2. Big props to Daniel Warren Johnson for pulling that off, along with Mike Spicer. That book is absolutely phenomenal. And I said this, I think in response to a comment or something, but it is my favorite Wonder Woman story since the Azzarello, Cliff Chiang, New 52 run, which to me was my favorite Wonder Woman comic book. Robbie, do you have a video on your thoughts on Bad Idea? If not, what are they? I don't have a video yet. Bad Idea. So those are the ones that are only going to be, they're going to do, like, they're doing a line of comics. It's a new publisher. And they're only going to deal with 20 comic shops, right? So only 20 comic shops across the world are going to be able to get comic books from this company. I think it's the same company. And then they're going to expand that out to 50. So basically, I haven't read anything about it since the initial announcement. I read that, and I kind of read it briefly. But it seems like it's something that's catering specifically to a speculator market. But I need to get more into it. But that was my initial thought, and I don't know if that's necessarily a great business model. But it's something new and it's something different, I guess, their approach to it. And just that alone has us talking about it right now. So I guess it seems to be working, because most new publishers, you don't really hear anything about them. It's hard to build up that hype. AWA has been able to do it right now because they're giving away lots of advanced review copies and PDFs and all that kind of stuff. Plus, they already got Bill Jemas and Axel Alonso behind them. But yeah, what's up, Big E? What's up, Johnny? What's up, Mike? Teen Dog, the speculation of the latest Batman issue. I mean, I've already talked about that. We talked about that last week. All right. Let's see. Mike says his pick of the week was Wonder Woman Dead Earth. Yeah, good stuff. Do you think Batman 89 will be a key book? No. I don't think so. I think it's one of the, I mean, it's just like the Star thing with Captain Marvel. Now, this will have longer legs because it's related to Joker and Batman and all that kind of jazz, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Like, at this point right now, I don't think it will be. There's a lot of copies of that book out there, but a lot of people, I don't think so. I don't think it will be a key in the long term. I think that if you're specking on that book, it's definitely a short-term thing. Big E says, I've been enjoying Wonder Woman Dead Earth too. Heck yeah. Johnny, I actually enjoyed New Mutants number 7. That was a fun one. Breaking the Fourth Wall was a little interesting. But I liked the book. Daniel Warren Johnson does not get enough credit. Yeah, I agree. Batman 89, is anyone paying $30, and is it even worth it? It's not worth $30 at all. Yeah, if you got a curiosity about it, just wait for the second printing, and then it's going to be a third, I'm sure. Or get it digitally if you're just interested. It's not anything special. in and of itself as like a key book or anything like that. It's like the very brief first cameos of Punchline, who's Joker's new sidekick. And we don't know anything about this character, and this is all just kind of fabricated speculation right now. I like it. Characters got to have time to make to kind of make their case. Deadpool and Harley Quinn, are the big ones now, right? You can really think back, and they're like the last ones that really blew up and have a sustained amount of momentum behind their first appearances. It took them like 15 years to get to that point, so this right now is just a short-term spec. S Squared says Flash Forward number 6, big Wally fan. Flash Forward was crazy, the ending there. Pretty crazy. What's up, Brett? Is it true that aliens just landed in your backyard? No. Otherwise, I would be wearing the Teen Dog shades. Aaron says, really liked Marauders number 8. That Iceman scene was awesome. Yeah, it was. There's some great Iceman scenes in X-Men history. That's one of the best. One of the best. Logan says, God Killers and The Plunge. Brooke says, anyone else feel like DC Publishing is just done? I can't speak for other people. For me, no, absolutely not. What did you think of Birds of Prey, and did you think the Joker would have fit perfectly in there? I kind of liked it without the Joker. It was able to stand on its own. It had those little animated bits with the Joker. But I loved Birds of Prey. I thought it was incredibly fun, vibrant, colorful. I had a lot of fun with it. I know there's some criticism about it being an R-rated film. I enjoyed the film, but I do think that it could have had a wider appeal if they would have had a PG-13 cut at least. That really hit me this week at the shop when we had these pops from the Birds of Prey movie of Harley Quinn up at the counter. And this young girl was like obsessed with them and like, oh, it's Harley with the egg sandwich. And it's, oh, she's got, this, she's got the beaver, blah, blah, blah. And like, she was so excited. And then she looks at her dad and she goes, I wish I could watch this movie. He's like, one day you can. And I was like, oh, that breaks my heart. But I also really like the R-rated Guy Ritchie-ness of the film. But I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. And yeah, as Sebastian says, I did a review of Birds of Prey. Me and Brooks and Jelani. And they have different opinions than I do. So definitely check out the overall PCP vibe. But the overall gist from us at PCP was that it was good. It was a good film. Definitely worth checking out. What's up, Jam Sessions? Reggie says, Wonder Woman, Dead Earth, Joker, Killer Smile, and Family Tree, and Wolverine. Those were some great books. I think you just named my top 5 minus 1. But that's my top 4, right? Well, no, Red Mother. Put in Red Mother. That's my top 5, I think, if I remember right. Wolverine was good, but I felt it was mostly set up. Should be. It's issue number 1. That should be the most setup you get in an early issue, right? Family Tree is growing on me. That's funny, Brooke. That's funny. I like that. Picked up 4 copies of Batman 89, all for cover price. Unload them right now. Actually, just wait, because this hype, I think, may build up a little bit into her first full appearance. Hell Arisen's coming up this week. I don't know if that's going to be a full thing or a small cameo. There's varying theories on her first cover appearance. Some are saying 92, some are saying 94. So, if you're specking, those, pay attention to those. But the height of this is going to be very soon, if it hasn't already passed. Share Love Tea. The 2-page spread with Pegasus and Dead Earth was dope. Yes. Yeah, Daniel Warren Johnson would be cool doing a long form run on superhero work. Goodness. I've gotten behind on the comments. All right. What's up, Atari? Logan says, I enjoyed Bang. That was a really good one. It's starting to get some movement online, too, like $10 to $15, something like that. Looking forward to reading the Wonder Woman book. My shop got shorted. Oh, I hate hearing those words. Bang was hot. Haven't even heard about this. I don't have an LCS. Hey, David Hatch is here. What's up, David? How are you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Punchline will be as crucial as Joker's daughter is. You know, that's a good point, because when Joker's daughter debuted for the New 52, there was a lot of hype there at first, and it's nothing now. Nothing. Oh, my audio distortion just picked up again. It's these headphones, maybe. I don't know. We're going to have to fix this. Let's see. What's up, Blu-ray Tuesday? Logan says Flash was a good story. Just got the Space Bandits trade paperback. The story's kind of predictable but fun, and I love the coloring. Love sci-fi stuff myself, though. Yeah, me too. I actually like that one a lot. I don't always respond so well to Mark Miller's work nowadays, but I did like that one. I liked it a lot. Punchline, Batman 92 will be key. Punchline on the cover and first full appearance. 89 is just a cameo. That's what Bruce says. Do you think that the rumors that AT&T will shut down DC Comics if 5G doesn't sell well are true? No, John, not at all. Not at all. DC's going nowhere. Hey, Two Gun Pedro's here. Pew, pew. I felt so lame when I did that, because I should have just been like, pew, pew. But instead I was like, pew, pew. What? Space Bandit is legit. What's up, Sean? All right. Benjamin Percy is killing it. Yes, absolutely. X-Force and the first issue of Wolverine was really good. Samuel says, is 5G still a thing? Are they going forward with it? Well, to a degree, it has to be going forward with now, because it's already been set up. So, I mean, they've already announced the free comic book day issue. They got it. I don't know if it's going to happen the way that we all had heard that it was going to happen. So we'll see. All right. Marvel should have done Wolverine #1 for $1 to get people interested. I don't think they had to try too hard to get people to buy that book. Even at $8, it sold very well. Yeah, it was a great read. It was $8, but I mean, it's 60 full illustrated comic book story pages. 60. So that's pretty much 3 comic books. And that's not counting the info pages and whatnot. That's still 60 pages of comic book art. So I understand the price. Let's see here. Their canon only is one first appearance, and that is 89. Next is second appearance in Hell Arisen. Sean, I get what you're saying. But first appearance of Wolverine is considered Hulk 181, even though he appeared at 180. You know, Bueller and Bob did a whole video about that. You know, it just happens. Robbie, loved your Doom conversation with Everything Comics. I dug how you explained that Doom is actually noble, but has that edge to him. Well, thank you, Banana Jester. I had a lot of fun last night hanging out with Bob from Everything Comics, and then Bueller showed up, and it was super fun. So if you haven't checked that out, go to the Everything Comics page here on YouTube, obviously after the stream. And that video is up. A conversation me and him had about Daredevil and Dr. Doom. It was super fun. A little bit of Cowboys talk at the beginning. But Bullseye Bob's super cool cat, and I was very gracious and thankful for being on his channel. I had a great conversation with him. Like I said, Bueller popped in, so it was super cool. Hey, Rob, thank you for reviewing comics every week and just going into reviewing them. You're one of the few people that just talk about comics, and that's it. I appreciate it. Well, thank you, Sean. We talk about movies and stuff, too, though. You know? Got some love for Wolverine #1. I loved it. I also thought it was Adam Kubert's, like, some of his best work I've ever read. That artwork was fantastic. Man, this glitch in my headphones or whatever is really getting on my nerves, kind of distracting y'all. Do you know any Percy from before X-Force? I'd love to read anything by him. He had a pretty decent run on Green Arrow. That's the Rebirth Green Arrow. Pretty decent. Plus, you have Otto Schmidt on the artwork, and that was really, really cool stuff. Yeah. So why did Dan DiDio depart? Well, Dan DiDio got fired. We'll get to that. Robbie, have you been digging the Christopher Cantwell Doom book? No, not at all. Mr. Bolo did a great researched article on the incorrect term cameo. Great info. Hey, I think the first appearances are the first appearances. That's me. Like, I think Wolverine's first appearance is Hulk 180. That's me. I think it's silly to be like, this is his first appearance, this is his first cameo, this is his first full appearance, this is his first cover appearance, all that kind of stuff. It's just weird. Wasn't the rumor that 5G was just the stopgap while DC restructured? With DiDio leaving, it just sounds like the rumor's bearing out, not that 5G isn't according to plan. Slime, that's a good point. We mentioned that not too long ago here on the channel. That there was going to be a convergence type thing to happen. And maybe that is 5G. Maybe all they're trying to do actually with 5G is give us like a 2 to 3 month look at the future of DC, right? And then hop back to the main titles. And the original idea was that it was going to give the company time to get everything on schedule, right? Everything on schedule. And so maybe that is what 5G is. Maybe it's not the next big thing and it wasn't going to be, for years. Maybe it was always just planned to be a short-term thing. We never got anything official about it. So we don't actually know what it is. But we do know that was Dan's baby, and we'll see what happens now with it and the timeline and all that kind of stuff. But what's already in motion is already in motion. They can't afford to just stop now because Dan DiDio got fired. Like, that was a shock. Nobody knew that was coming. So their plans for right now, that's what they're going with, and then we'll see if they change. And fall, obviously, is kind of the moment where we'll see what's going to happen. But we'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of speculation with that. That was a great show with Bullseye Bob. A lot of fun and very interesting. Well, thank you, Samuel. Thank you for checking it out. Batman 92 is like Hulk 181. First full appearance and on cover. No one wants the cameo. Actually, people do like 180. People do want that one. It's like, and there's Gambit, right? There's that new X-Men annual or something with Gambit. Yeah. So. It is what it is. Hey, Robbie, love your content. Picked up the plot in Red Mother because of you, and they are fantastic. Well, thank you so much. Glad to be of service, and I'm glad that you found some books that resonate with you. Comics Club, what's up? Comics Club, thank you so much. By the way, I don't know if you got my comment, but stoicism, as far as Wolverine's nature, his stoic nature, it's both definitions. I would definitely say the first definition is more so like what the overall like surface level of it is. But the actual philosophy of stoicism is something I think is also inherent to the character of Logan. And specifically what I was referencing when I said I'm big into stoicism. Love Wolverine #1. Which story did you prefer? I love the second one with the vampires. Man, it's really tough. I really like that first story because Adam Kubert's artwork blew me away, but I really did like the second story because of the vampire and Dracula stuff, plus Omega Red. And I love me some Omega Red. I really do. So, yeah. What's up, Dodora? How are you doing? And welcome, Chris. Let's see. I watch other vids of yours about movies, but not just about comics. I appreciate you don't make it a 2-hour podcast. Sometimes I'm in a hurry for work, and it just helps that you give a quick opinion on books. Well, I feel like it's already long as far as the weekly comic book review goes. I feel like it's already long. So they're starting to hit 40, 45 minutes a lot now. But, it is what it is. I keep reading like 40-plus comics a week. That's what's going to happen. Is it because of Tom King's Batman run? Brian, what's up, by the way? I think that may be a factor, but I don't think that is the reason why they let Dan DiDio go. But it's probably a factor in a small way. it amongst a lot of other things. All in all, it's just another brick in the wall, as the philosophers Roger Waters and Dave Gilmour said. And Randall Pink Floyd. In the future, they should run the elections like on the stump. Logan, that would be wild, wouldn't it? That'd be wild. That'd be wild. If the Democratic Party, if the Democratic nomination was done that way, I still think Bernie would kind of come out on top. What do you think of Spawn still holding on that $2.99 price tag? It's creator owned, and so they have a little bit more, more control. I think it's cool. Todd McFarlane knows his lines and all that stuff. I don't know what the corporate structure is and who's responsible and all that stuff. So, I mean, I'm not arguing. I think a $2.99 comic book is fine and dandy. And I would prefer if all comic books were $2.99. I would prefer if they were $1.50. I would prefer if they were free. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm right there with y'all. Spawn staying at $2.99 is cool, and Spawn just being around for as long as it is as a creator-owned book is substantial and a big deal. It's something akin to Mike Mignola Hellboy. That's a character that's been creator-owned, that's been continuously running, but not as continuously as Spawn. So you take Spawn, you think Usagi Yojimbo by Stan Sakai, even Cerebus, Dave Simmons, whatever you want to think about him. The way he was able to crank out so many creator-owned books, and then you think about that, and it's amazing. Don't sleep on Savage Dragon. Now, me personally, I'm not a big fan on Spawn or Savage Dragon, but I highly respect those creators and the fact that they made a commitment back in the 90s and they did not let up on that. You know what I'm saying? They didn't sell out like some would say, like Rob Liefeld or a Jim Lee or anything like that. But like they do what they do, and those books have been successful. And Spawn way more successful, I would say, than Savage Dragon. So, I'm not the biggest Spawn fan, but I do have a lot of respect for Spawn, Todd McFarlane, and its place in comic book history. And there's even always been an idea bouncing around about doing a Comics Revisited episode on Spawn. And in fact, I'll go ahead and announce that Spawn will be on the audience choice poll for Season 3 of Comics Revisited. So that's going to be a few months from now. But we'll see. If everybody wants it, we'll vote. And me and I think Brooks would be down for it. We'll read like the first 50 issues of Spawn or something and revisit it. Anyway. Finally got my wife into comics. She bought all the Joe Hill titles for herself, and I snuck some in back issues of Daredevil. Hell yeah. Heck yeah. Hey, what's up, BJ Kumar Pradhan? Sorry if I mispronounced that, but what's up, man? How are you doing? Hey, what's up, Hamburger Basket? I always wanted a story focused on the Riddler, but to make him more like Jigsaw from the Saw movies. That's actually not a bad idea, Peeler. What's up, Tyler? Based on the prediction of Thor and Superman brawling and a crossover being hinted, who are some Marvel DC fights you'd like to see? Oh, man. We got a lot of them already in the DC versus Marvel from back in the 90s, and that was kind of fun. But, obviously, Thor versus Superman is always a cool one. Captain America and Batman is always a cool one. I want to see Spider-Man and Flash. They're usually always pairing up Flash with someone like Quicksilver because they have similar powers, but I think Flash and Spider-Man would be a more accurate representation of each character's place in their pantheon, if that makes sense. I would go further into that, but it's not a Teen Dog Shades night. But, hey, Bueller's here. What's up, Bueller? How you doing? Nice Floyd reference. Thank you. I think your reviews are quick and concise, bro. You do a great job, in my opinion. Well, thank you so much, Brooke. I think the Bendis hiring is what did it. Nah, Bendis' hiring probably gave him a bump. But there's a lot that happened here. Bueller says even if he's not commenting, he's watching on his TV. He's here in spirit. Gideon Falls is super dope. Yes, it is. Who's your favorite artist and writer right now? So we mean currently working, like in an ongoing manner. So I couldn't just be like my favorite artist right now is Mike Mignola because he's alive. It's got to be someone that's like consistently putting out work. Oh, writer and artist. As far as writer goes, Jonathan Hickman, I would say. Right now, Jonathan Hickman's my favorite writer. My favorite artist right now. Let me think about that one for a second. Let me think about that one. Andrea Sorrentino. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I would say. And that will change this week, I'm sure. But yeah, Jonathan Hickman, Jeff Lemire even. But Jonathan Hickman is probably my favorite writer right now. And Sorrentino's for artist. Bernie would straight murder Joe Biden and Mayor Pete. Your top 10 reviews are perfect for my customers. Keep them coming. Well, thank you, Comics Club. I plan on keeping them coming. What do you think of Scott Snyder's run in comics now? I feel that Last Night on Earth was a letdown and Justice League was a complicated mess. I'm actually not looking forward to heavy metal. Sean, I the exact opposite opinion. And to each their own. But yeah, I really liked Last Night on Earth. I loved his Justice League run. Like, I haven't been that excited for Justice League comics since the Grant Morrison run, so I like big, epic, cosmic, crazy stuff. I like I'm just into it. And I'm super pumped for death metal. Oh, we're getting behind on comics. Tomb of Dracula 10 almost came in, dance around in the numbers. Oh, come on, Mike. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. All right. Hey, Robbie, are you going to review the Lock and Key Netflix series? Well, Chris, I've only seen the first episode, and I didn't really like it, so I'll get to it eventually. So maybe when I finish, I will, but I don't know. Would you ever want to write your own comic? Yes, Daisy Falls. In fact, I have plans to. Finding the time's been the issue. I am also trying to get my wife into comics. She loves horror, so I've been buying a lot of Joe Hill. Let her check out The Plot, see if she likes that one. David says, what did you know about the Sandman Lock and Key crossover? Will Dream make an appearance in the Key House, or will the Key lead into the Dreaming? I don't know. I just know it's Joe Hill, and it's Gabriel Rodriguez, and it's co-published between DC and IDW. So I'm excited. I love the Zenith Comics Revisited episode. Well, thank you so much. What's really cool is that completely not even planned, that episode released on Grant Morrison's birthday. And I thought that was pretty awesome, actually. A great synchronicity, one would say. I want to see some random fights like Batman Black Panther. Oh, that would be a great one. Batman Black Panther would be amazing. I'd like to see Thanos versus Darkseid so that we can prove once and for all that Darkseid is far superior. And then I want to see Doom steal Darkseid's power at the end of it. Well, let's see. Hey, what's up, Nelson? How are you doing? All right. Let's see here. Been doing a lot of drawing lately. Would love to do a drawing for your channel. Give me 2 comics and 2 non-comic related older cartoons, and I'll try to put a page together for you and the PCP gang. Oh, that's super cool, Share Love. So you're saying give me 2 comics and 2 non-comic related older cartoons. Okay. Well, Fantastic Four. Big Fantastic Four fan. So Reed Richards and Dr. Doom in particular. Those are amazing. We're also big Venom and Carnage fans. So there you go. Big Darkseid fans too. All the Jack Kirby stuff. Non-comic stuff. My absolute favorite non-comics old school cartoon type stuff is Silverhawks. Love me some Silverhawks. Really like He-Man. Yeah. Probably those are the 2 I would say. Silverhawks and He-Man. Nelson says, Lock and Key show is not as good as the comic, but still enjoyable. My wife is really liking the show. Barbecue Network, shalom. How are you doing? Now that Dan DiDio is gone, do you think they will replace him or just let Jim Lee take completely over? We'll get to that here in a bit after the break. I think they're going to replace him. I also think they'll move Jim Lee. I think they'll give him a different title. But we'll get into that. Dark Side is. Have I seen Eve of Destruction? No. Gargoyles, Darkwing Duck, Fraggle Rock. Those are cool. Oh, yeah, another one, DuckTales. That's a great one. What's coming out in comics this week? The fight should be based on sales, so Batman would fight Spidey, X-Men fight Justice League, Deadpool would fight Harley. Well, that's an obvious one, right? And they should do another amalgam, and it should be Harley Pool. Bat Family versus Spider-Verse? That'd be cool. That could be cool. From Dark Horse Comics this week, we've got a second printing of Bang, #1. We've got Disney's Little Mermaid, #3. Hidden Society, #1. The Invisible Kingdom, #10. And Tomorrow, #1. And Witchfinder, Reign of Darkness, #4. From IDW, Dying is Easy, #3. Kill Lock, #3. My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, #87. And Usagi Yojimbo, Color Classics, #2. And also TMNT Jenica, #1 of 3. That's a miniseries that's going to be focusing in on the new turtle. From Dynamite, we have Black Terror, #5. Chastity, #5. Clash of Kings, #2. Red Sonja, Vampirilla, Betty, and Veronica, #9. From Boom Studios this week, we have Angel and Spike at #9. So I guess now Spike is a co-headliner with Angel. Folklords, #4, the penultimate issue, of which Bueller's already read, and I'm kind of jealous. I need to see if I can get a hold of a copy of that. Jim Henson's Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance, #6. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, #48. That is from Boom Studios this week. From some other companies, we got a big Vault week, but we'll get to that in a second. We got Apocalypse Girl, #2. We've got Dark Ark After the Flood, #3. We've got Gung Ho, #3. We've got Kids, #2. We got The Misplaced, #4. Ogres, #4. Quantum and Woody, #2. Rick and Morty, #59. Seance Room, #3. Touching Evil, #4. And White Ash, #2. And Wolvenheart, #5. And a big week for Vault Comics. Vault Comics has Black Stars Above, #4. Cult Classic Creature Feature, #5. Finger Guns, #1, of which I have an advanced review on the channel. You should definitely check that out. Heathen returns with issue #9. And we've got Vagrant Queen, Planet Called Doom, #2, and Wasted Space, one of my favorite comic books currently, edition with #14. Which makes me realize, yeah, I love Andrea Sorrentino. Another one of my favorite current artists is definitely Hayden Sherman. He was my artist of last year because of his work on Wasted Space, Thumbs, and Mary Shelley Monster Hunter. So good. Any thoughts on Hickman's Decorum? My thoughts are I'm supremely excited for it. But I also want to know about some of the other books that we were supposed to have already gotten. Frontier? Anybody? Feel Better Now? Anybody? Where's Dying of the Dead? Where's Black Monday Murders? He-Man about to blow up media-wise. Hope you have some comic keys already. I don't have any He-Man comics. I just like the show and some of the toys. In particularly, I like the Horde toys and I like the Snake Men toys. Those are my favorites. I've got a lot of the old school Horde figures, Hordak, Grizzlor, all that stuff, and I've got some of the Snake Men, including King Hiss, which is probably my favorite He-Man figure of all time. Next to Man, Many Faces, which I have one right over there. Actually, yeah, it's right there. Bam. Sean Murphy's Batman run is fucking fantastic. New issue this Wednesday. Yeah, super excited. So is there really a dark cloud over DC? We'll get to that. See you, Nelson. Have a good one. All right. Let's take a look at what's coming out from Image Comics. From Image this week, we've got Death or Glory number 9. Heart Attack number 4. Ice Cream Man number 18. Philadelphia number 4. Monstrous 26. Olympia number 4. I've read that one and it's amazing. Protector number 2. Redneck number 26. Sex Criminals number 27. That's from Image Comics. This week, what about DC? We've got Action Comics 1020. We have the new Amethyst. Amethyst number 1 is out this week. Basketful of Heads number 5. Batgirl number 44. Batman Beyond number 41. Batman Curse of the White Knight number 7, the penultimate issue. Batman Superman number 7. Books of Magic 17. The Crisis on Infinite Earth's giant 100-page special number 2. Detective Comics 1020. Dial H for Hero number 12. There's a dollar comic of Amethyst number 1. That's cool. And Flash number 1 from 87. I have both of those. Not the dollar comics version, the real one. Far Sector number 4 is out this week. A facsimile of Flash 123, which is the first meeting between Jay Garrick and Barry Allen. Super cool. Super cool. John Constantine Hellblazer number 4. Justice League Dark number 20, which starts the Rom V run. Last God number 5. Leviathan Dawn number 1, a one-shot leading into Checkmate. Red Hood Outlaw number 43. Shazam number 11. Suicide Squad number 3. Swamp Thing Giant number 3. Wonder Woman 752. This is a big week. And, of course, Hell Arisen number 3 with the next appearance of Punchline. Let's finish it off with Marvel real quick. Iron Man 2020 continues with Force Works number 1. Amazing Spider-Man number 40. Ant-Man number 2. Amazing Spider-Man Daily Bugle number 2. Avengers number 31. Avengers of the Wastelands number 2. Black Panther 21. Wow. That's a lot of stuff. Falcon and Winter Soldier number 1. Fantastic Four Grim Noir number 1. Ghost Rider number 5. Giant Size X-Men Jean Grey and Emma Frost number 1. One shot written by Jonathan Hickman. Jessica Jones Blind Spot number 4. A lot of stuff. New Mutants number 8. Punisher Soviet number 4. Ravencroft number 2. Scream Curse of Carnage number 4. Star number 2. Spider-Ham number 3. Star Wars number 3. Tarot number 3. This is a big week. This is a big old week. This is a big week. X-Force number 8. X-Men number 7. X-Men Fantastic Four number 2. Y'all, this is a big week. This is a big week for comics. I'll tell you. Anyway, hit that thumbs up button. Really helps us out here. You can join the PCP Army, which is the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. You can also just like us on Facebook. We're on Instagram, and you can follow me on Twitter at @TheRockinRobbie. Our Patreon is patreon.com/PCP. You can join these cool fellas right here. These awesome people help support the channel, and you can join them and unlock exclusive content and early access to things like the weekly comic book review and a downloadable audio file available hours before the video hits. So let's see. I went back and bought Olympia 1 through 3 per your recommendation, by the way. Well, thank you, Robert. I hope you enjoy them. Did you see the White Knight figures at Toy Fair? Have not checked that out yet. That's super cool. Do you think we'll ever see Damage or Sideways again? I don't know. I hope so. Why does Amethyst need a solo run? Is this the Bendis thing? Amethyst needs a solo run because she is one of the best DC characters ever. And I'm not even kidding, homie. That's one of my favorites. I love Amethyst. That's fun stuff. Read the New 52 stuff. That's really good. And the old school stuff. I'm telling you, man. I'm not kidding. It's just a solo. It's just a mini-series, too. Hey, what's up, C3? How are you doing? Yeah, Wednesday's going to be a big one this week. What do you think about the High Republic speculation in Star Wars? Brooke, I don't know what we're talking about. Is J.J. Abrams going to be the Feige for DC? No. Shouldn't. Hey, what's up, Daniel? How are you doing? Yeah, Shane, some really good indie stuff coming out. We got some great Vault books coming out this week and some great Source Point Press books. And, some great stuff. This week we got Misplaced number 4. We got Wasted Space number 14. Cult Classic Creature Feature number 5. Finger Guns number 1. Really good stuff. And the second issue of Kids from Ablaze. What's the IG handle? Pop Culture Philosophers. All one word. Pop Culture Philosophers. I wish we got John Kent and Damian Super Sons to run again. Yeah, me too, Sean. That'd be fun. I do really like that. All right. So we talked about the new comics coming out this week. We talked a lot already, and it seems like people really want to talk about Dan DiDio. So I'm ready. We're going to talk about Dan DiDio. But first, we're going to take a quick break because I really got to take a whiz. Do you know what I'm saying? So we're going to take a quick break, and the last couple weeks during the break, I've let y'all listen to the full Robbie Rants theme song. And last week, I promised that we would do something different. So I used to be in a hip-hop group called The Basement Show. And we did a song. It's one of our early songs. It's called Let It Be Told. So that song is what is used as the theme song for Comics Revisited and the movie reviews, by the way. So basically, if I do a video with another person, it's usually the Let It Be Told music that I use. So in a way, it's another theme, right? But this is me and my homie. We'll call him Kevin. His stage name was Skeptic. My stage name was Contact. So listen to Let It Be Told. I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back, and we'll get to talking about Dan DiDio. Do not miss that. And also, along with the video is, look at this doofy picture of me from like 2005.
Pleased to meet you, let me seat you on the bleachers. The beat's on my lips, but I'm not talking about my shit. I'm well equipped, doing quick with my vital lyric that I spit from my soul. It's the essence of my being. Stop fighting amongst each other, it's us, they are deceiving. Demons, they be screaming in my ears, this negativity. Conceiving what I'm dreaming, no fear since my nativity. Bring to me these gravities, brought on by urgency, insurgency. The currencies are nothing but fantasies, they fallacies. Flying in the face of true policy. Honestly, did you really think that you could run from me? It's sad to see these tragedies break down our abilities. Complexities we need to succeed universally. Greed's not me, so please don't be deceived. Receive what I speak, cause when I speak sincerely. Please don't idolize us, we're just speaking our minds. Turning thought into verse so it sticks in your mind. We don't front or try to fake it. You can leave it or you can take it. We don't fit the mold. All we do is fucking break it. Yeah, we smoke, we drink, we say some fucked up shit. But our actions do the talking and our flow is legit. Don't let you misguided anger turn you into a statistic. Use it to make a difference, fight corruption, greed, and ignorance. We speak the truth, all your haters can't stand it. Cause when we on the mic, it's like we from a different planet. We bring you truth and knowledge mixed with purpose, can you stand it? Talking about revolution like our forefathers planned it. We don't use guns and violence like corrupt governments. Just use your hearts and minds and make a positive effort. We can change the future if we understand it's urgent. So stop making excuses, use your knowledge for a purpose. Let's break these walls down, turn things around. Rule of 1, 8, 0, with your feet on the ground. I'm philosophically sound, I'm poetically bound, and I'm chained to the truth until the mystery is found. Kingdoms of this earth overestimate their worth, condemned to be dirt from the moment of their birth. There's only one in this kingdom, bringing constant truth, freedom, the kingdom from above. Freedom, see I need it when I'm cut, yo I bleed it, I conceive it as the evidence of democratic relevance. The elements we face in this race to make haste, may shake up my feet, but it will never be replaced. Like lightning, I'm striking with lyrics so enticing, inviting to listen all of those that wish to fight me. Might be the icing on the cake of opportunity. Let me take this chance to spit some Deuteronomy. The Lord God is one, and so should his people be. This unity will prove to me concepts of personality. Historically we see in moments
divide. So when the people are divisive, try this, you'll find this, the truth is enlightenment. In front of it, people put their faith in the government and welfare. Do they care how we fare? It's not there. Just beware of the traps when time's up.
Let's break these walls down, turn things around. Pull a 180 with your feet on the ground.
I'm philosophically sound, I'm poetically bound, and I'm chained to the truth until the mystery is found.
Kingdoms of this earth overestimate their worth, condemned to be dirt from the moment of their birth.
There's only one in this kingdom, bringing constant truth, freedom, the kingdom from above.
Let's break these walls down, turn things around. Pull a 180 with your feet on the ground.
I'm philosophically sound, I'm poetically bound, and I'm chained to the truth until the mystery is found.
Kingdoms of this earth overestimate their worth, condemned to be dirt from the moment of their birth.
There's only one in this kingdom, bringing constant truth, freedom, the kingdom from above.
From the moment of their birth.
Hey everybody, welcome back here to Rockin Robbie Live on Pop Culture Philosophers. I am Rockin Robbie Billups. And tonight we're talking about comic books, movies, pop culture, and more. I want to point out you can join the PCP Army, the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. You can also support us at Patreon, patreon.com/PCP. Like David, Alex, Adem, Nelson, Brian, Dean, Jason, Brian, Reggie, the Reggie, Robert, Javi, Peter, Dunlaney, TJ, Monamit, Timo, and David. Thank everybody at Patreon. Thank you all for being here for the second half of Rockin Robbie Live on a Sunday night. You can also check us out on Instagram, Pop Culture Philosophers, and you can follow me on Twitter at The Rockin Robbie. So, I told everybody we'd talk about it, so let's talk about it. Dan DiDio has been fired from DC Comics. Now, what's really crazy to me about this is that a lot of people are starting to kind of spread out the idea that DC is in major trouble now because of this. Meanwhile, at the exact same time, saying things like Dan DiDio was the worst thing to happen to DC and why DC has sucked for the last 10 plus years. So it just depends on whatever, I guess, you think about Dan DiDio and his career at DC. So the first thing I want to do is talk about what I think of Dan DiDio's legacy at DC. I think that Dan DiDio was amazing for DC at certain things, and I think he was destructive at DC for other things. This is how it goes, you know? Joe Quesada, for instance, is one of my favorite editor-in-chiefs in comic books ever, and not every decision he made was good. Last night on the Everything Comics channel, me and Bob were talking. Bueller popped in, and we started talking about it because it broke, on Friday, or Friday night, not yesterday, but Friday night. And what I wanted to stress was, okay, so I need to address the doom and gloom aspect, and I need to address Dan DiDio's career. I think that Dan DiDio had a fine career at DC. I think he's responsible and led the way for a lot of great stuff, a lot of great creators that came in. He was there supporting Scott Snyder during Black Mirror. The New 52 was kind of his thing. I know a lot of people don't like the way that he treated some legacy characters, in particular Nightwing and Wally West. I understand all of that. Not every decision Dan ever made was something I agreed with, right? All in all, though, I would say New 52 was kind of successful at first. It really was, and it led to some great runs. Scott Snyder, and this is the biggest thing that most people come at Dan DiDio, what they think of it for, right? Is like New 52, right? And the reboots, the cycle of it, right? This is just a DC thing, you know? Are you mad at the New 52? Well, then are you mad at Crisis on Infinite Earths? Like, to me, it's kind of like the same thing. And New 52 ironed itself out. Some things worked, some things didn't. Batman worked. Green Lantern worked. Wonder Woman worked. Justice League, for the most part, worked. Aquaman worked. There was a lot of stuff that worked at New 52. There's a lot of stuff that didn't work as well. Like, for instance, they could never quite figure out how to get Wildstorm into the DC universe and make it fit. Stormwatch, Wildcats, Grifter, all that stuff, right? Could never quite figure that out. Grant Morrison left comic books. And he's back writing Green Lantern. Why? But Dan DiDio is one of the reasons for that. You know, if you like Scott Snyder stuff, I mean, that's him. If you like anything from the New 52, that's kind of like Dan's baby. If you like DC Black Label, that's Dan's baby. That's like what he wants to do. Now, obviously, something he was really working on hardcore was the DC 5G, Generation 5 thing coming out. And we've already been talking earlier on the live stream about that. So now, what are the plans? There's obviously something coming, but somebody mentioned, and I think it was Slime, but somebody said this. Maybe this was just meant to be the new Convergence. Because we reported this on the weekly comic book, or the weekly pop culture wrap-up, like a few months ago. But there were rumors swirling around that DC was putting another like kind of 2 to 3 month story in place, like Convergence. That would be kind of like a shake-up. But basically what it was meant to be was like to give the main publishing line a little bit of time to get caught up on stuff. When Convergence happened, it was because DC moved from New York to LA. So it gave them a 2-month period where there was a complete other editorial team that was working on putting these books out. So for 2 months they could move and everything. But now the idea was that there was going to be a new Convergence type event. Maybe that's what 5G is, and that was a great point that Slime made up. So maybe it's just, something that's just meant to show the future of DC for a couple months. Maybe Dan wanted to take it further. Maybe he didn't. I have no idea. We won't know until people start talking about it. It seems like a lot of people in the industry really did respect Dan DiDio. What I think was cool about him is he was a positive and enthusiastic co-publisher for DC. And that's not always something you get on the corporate side. He had a passion for DC Comics. He had a passion to try new things. And that's what I really liked too, was that he tried new things. They didn't always work, but he wasn't afraid to shake shit up, And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. And sometimes you can look at it and you can be like, it's obvious Dan DiDio is just throwing shit on the wall and seeing what sticks. Well, sometimes that's what you got to do. You got to shake things up. You got to do something different. At the same time, when things go bad, if sales start decreasing, let's say if your gem book, which is Batman, the cornerstone of DC, I would argue that it should be Superman, but it is Batman. Well, that starts kind of failing and low selling, right? Well, that's Tom King's Batman run. That's what happened. The response was kind of overall negative towards that run. And no matter what you think about the run, the facts are there. Started selling less. So, there's that. You have the collapse of Vertigo, their inability to get it restarted, and they've tried it so many times. And I think they succeeded at some points, and I almost thought that this last relaunch of Vertigo was going to work. You had the Sandman titles, you had American Carnage, you had Border Town, and then the Border Town stuff happened, and it just kind of petered out. And then what happened was that new management has come into DC, okay? And there was like a new president or something. I can't remember her name, but I think pretty much her first week on the job is when Batman Damned happened. And everybody's making fun of Batman's penis, right? So that's going on. And then you have Batman sales tanking. You have the community kind of coming out against it. You have people not cool with certain decisions. You have the delays in Doomsday Clock. You had Jeff Johns get kind of demoted out a little bit. You got the failure of the movie universe, the DC extended universe, right? And I think they've kind of managed to make some good films over the last couple of years, but, when they were really trying hard to push us into Justice League and all that stuff, that was a failure. So all this is some heavy, heavy shit to throw in to someone just coming into the office to take over DC Comics, right? I think Dan DiDio is the scapegoat. I think he's the scapegoat. So it seems, and what I've heard is that the way that it went down was maybe not the best, but I don't know. I can't speak on that because I'm not a corporate kind of guy. But I will also say that it is probably past time for Dan DiDio to leave, for his influence to leave for DC. And he'll be fine. Nobody worry about him. He'll be cool. So I think it was probably time for a change, right? But the way it happened and the reason maybe didn't necessarily work. I would have liked to see more of a, my time is done. I'd like to see him have finished off one big thing and then go, right? But nobody's going to quit that job, But it was probably time. It's probably time to get some new blood in. Here's the thing, though. If you really want to shake up the comic book side of it, and a lot of people blame Dan DiDio for maybe they don't like some books or whatever. That's just the way it is. Never, ever in the history of DC is every comic book ever going to be good. It's just not going to happen. That's fine. Like we were talking about with New 52, same with Rebirth, same with 1 year later. And 1 year later was Dan DiDio wanting to do a full-on reboot, relaunch. And that is part of DC's philosophy, is to do reboots and relaunches every 10 to 15 years. And maybe Dan kind of shortened that timeline to 5 to 10 years, and maybe Rebirth happened too soon after New 52. However, they needed to make some changes in New 52. They needed to make Superman relevant. They really needed to fix that. And then Doomsday Clock actually really did a great job of taking the idea of why Superman is so important to all these shifting changes at DC. Anyway, so I think it's time for new leadership anyway. What's going to happen with Jim Lee? I think Jim Lee will get a new job at DC. I think he'll get a new title, maybe a bump up or something like that, but I think there's going to bring in a new publisher. But if you really want to see a change, I think we got to get rid of Bob Harris. And I'm not calling for anybody to be fired, not whatsoever. But Bob Harris, if you wanted a scapegoat at DC, and there have been a lot of people leaving DC and a lot of people fired from DC over the last half year to a year. So there's been a lot going on. And there's a lot of rumors about Dan DiDio kind of coming to heads with Scott Snyder over a forced inversion of or infusion of 5G propaganda into death metal. And that's something he was kind of against or something. But, Scott came out on Twitter and said very nice things about Dan. Now, of course, politically, he should, right? He should. What's up, Everything Comics? Bob is here, everybody. How you doing, man? We had a great, fun chat on Friday night. Looking forward. We should do it again one day. Not too long from now. Back to the Dan DiDio thing. I think Jim Lee's going to get a new title, a new restructuring. Somebody else is going to come in as publisher, but I think you got to get rid of Bob Harris next. I think you got to bring in a new editor-in-chief at DC. You got to bring in so at one time, we're going to have, and maybe they're nervous. They don't want to do a new publisher and a new editor-in-chief at the same time, but man, maybe you really should. There needs to be a change in direction of DC Comics. The biggest fault of Rebirth was that Jeff Johns' Doomsday Clock fell behind. Now, maybe that is because they were running behind. I think it's because Jeff Johns and Gary Frank were doing career-level work, and I think it took more out of them and their schedule than they initially planned to. That's what I personally think, but that's just speculation. I don't know anything officially about that, okay? But I think there needs to be a new editor-in-chief. I think Bob Harris, Marvel was going to go bankrupt no matter what, but if you want to scapegoat anybody, he was the guy who was in charge of Marvel as the editor-in-chief, when they went bankrupt, right? Though I think that's actually a pretty decent time, but Heroes Reborn is Bob Harris. It's looked down as one of the worst ideas. Why is he the editor-in-chief of DC? I think there needs to be somebody else. I would have loved to see Axel Alonso come into that role. Now, that ain't going to happen because of AWA. But I'd like to see some change on the editor-in-chief level at DC. That's what I would like to see. Dan did good things. He did some things I really love and agree with and just super happy about, and he did some things that kind of pissed me off and bothered me. But that's just the same with anybody. That's a Jim Shooter. That's a Joe Quesada. That's a Tom DeFalco. That's a Bob Harris. There's going to be stuff that you love about him and stuff that you don't like about him. That's a Stan Lee. That's Roy Thomas. So Dan DiDio, by the way, also his OMAC book from New 52 is actually super badass and would make Jack Kirby very proud. But that's what I got to say. So what do y'all have to say? All right. I'm way behind on comments, but let's just see what happens here. He hated Nightwing. He hated Wally West. He hated the Titans, which was a success on streaming, yet no comic book. Eric, I've heard, I get that, and I understand. I'm not necessarily always, I like Wally West, and yeah, but yeah, here's the thing, is Dan's not the only one to blame for that stuff. Tom King's to blame for that. Jim Lee is a co-publisher. I think Jim Lee's more of just a face. But I don't know. Not I think he's a great creator and a great executive at DC. I think he's about to take on a new role. But yeah, I get all that. He had his opinions about certain characters. He wanted to kill Nightwing in Infinite Crisis. Wanted to kill him bad. Kept kind of wanting to redo Nightwing. Didn't like Nightwing. Yeah, I know. I don't like Red Hood. If I was an editor at DC, would everybody hate me because I didn't like Red Hood? And one of the first things I would do would be like, we're killing Jimmy Olsen and we're killing Jason Todd. I'm not even kidding. Maybe I just ruined my chance at ever getting an editorial job at DC, but my first two initiatives at DC would be that. We're going to kill Jimmy Olsen and we're going to kill Jason Todd. Oh. Let's see. DC is badly in need of new blood? I agree. Can Johns come back now and take over? Eric, I don't think Jeff Johns is going to come back because, remember, Jeff Johns kind of got put into a corner a little bit. He kind of got downgraded a little bit at DC. I don't think that the new leadership at DC likes Jeff Johns very much. I would like to see Jeff Johns come in as the editor-in-chief, but at the same time, he's working on that Green Lantern show. I think he's still tied into the new Wonder Woman movie, so he's still developing things, and he's doing the Stargirl show. He's doing a lot of work, and they got to get 3 Jokers out. So I don't think it's going to be Jeff Johns. That way, at a certain point, that would have been great. I think when DC Rebirth first started, they should have brought Jeff Johns in as the editor-in-chief. However, if that happened, we'd be on issue 6 of Doomsday Clock right now. Dylan, you son of a bitch. Dude, great show with Hero and a Kid tonight. Hero and the Kid, Sean and Will. What a great, fantastic new YouTube channel. If you're a comic book fan, and I'm assuming you are, seriously, check out Hero and the Kid. Fantastic videos. It's a dude and his son. It's the most authentic and honest YouTube comic book show out there. Check them out. They just did a stream today with Dylan. Bueller popped up. Perry popped up. Super cool. Let's see. I think John should cool off on movies and TV series and take the reins of publishing. Franco, I 100% actually agree with you. Will Zdarsky be in charge of DC? No. That's funny. So is Jim Lee the new interim leader, CEO, until they announce the new leader? He wasn't CEO. He's co-publisher. So as of right now, he is the publisher of DC. But I think they're going to get a new publisher. I think he's going to get... Jim Lee's not going to get fired. But it may have been in his contract, by the way, when he sold Wildstorm, that he would always have a job there. I don't know. But I definitely think he's going to move into a new role. We'll see what happens. Oh, we got 70 going on right now. Are you serious, Dylan? Holy cow, this is the biggest live stream we've ever had, y'all. Give everybody a hand. Y'all give yourselves a hand. A round of applause, please. Last week was the first time I cracked 60 during a live stream, and now we're over 70. That's all good. That's all y'all. That's all you. Thank you so much. That's dope. Brooks says, I think Jeff Johns needs to stay away from everything, DC. Will we ever get 3 Jokers or Batman Earth 1 Volume 3? John, we're getting 3 Jokers this year. When it's going to happen, we don't know, but it is happening this year. And then someone said after 3 Jokers, it's probably over. I don't know. Maybe they should let him just do Shazam for a while. Maybe Jeff Johns would just be better right now as a writer. But I also think that, like someone else said down here, yeah, Sam, I think that he does a passion of his. Obviously, Jeff Johns is passionate about comic books, but he's also very passionate about film. And yeah, he was an intern for Richard Donner, who directed The Omen and directed Superman, and really directed the best version of Superman 2. But he wants to do movies and TV. You know he does. Unfortunately, when he was in charge of that kind of stuff, it didn't work. So I don't know if he's going to get a chance, really. We'll see how Stargirl does. And he is still involved in the Green Lantern one. Hey, Reggie, with a super chat. PCP Army gets bigger and bigger. Thank you, Reggie. Thank you for the donation. We really do appreciate it. If you want to join Reggie in his support, you can join him over at Patreon, or you can join him here and do a super chat like Reggie just did. Reggie, you're the best. We really do appreciate it. You are literally the reason why we have the new camera, and we thank you so much. John said Earth 1, Volume 3 is 2/3 done, and I think Fabok said he was finishing the 3rd issue. Yes, Fabok is finishing 3 Jokers as we speak. He's probably working on it right now. Brooke wants to move us along. I got you. We're about to talk about the Batman costume. Everything Comics, Bob says, just throwing it out there, as I saw an article on Bleeding Cool that said he woke up from a 4-day nap to find out he was the head of DC, so I just wanted to, that was a funny headline. That was one of those ones they do that's just mostly funny. Like, the headline was like, Jim Lee wakes from a 4-day nap to find out he's in charge of DC. We'll get some announcements soon. That would be a good question of the week. If you were DC, the publisher, who would get the axe? What's the brew you're sucking on there? It looks like some amber goodness. It's Monkey Knot. It's from Straight to Ale, which is a local brewery here. And it's Monkey Knot. It's an IPA. It's delicious. Joe Hill should just take over it all? I don't know about that. Hey, what's up, Taki? How are you doing? Random football question for you, Robbie. First of all, welcome, Bawana Beast. I haven't seen you in a minute. If you could keep only 2 for the Cowboys, who do you pick from Dak Prescott, Byron Jones, and Amari Cooper? Love to throw football at you. I would keep Prescott and Jones. But I want to keep all 3. I don't know where all these people are coming from. Brady to the Cowboys. Get that out of here. He's going to Tennessee. That'd be a good one, right? Saw Skip talk about that. He'd be a good fit at Tennessee. Probably lead him to a Super Bowl. Sean said he just gave Reggie that $5, so thank him. And then he gives us $3.50. He's got $3.50. Hell yeah. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate that. I really actually appreciate that exact number. So thank you so much. Robbie's going to break 100 tonight. C3, I don't think that's going to happen, but that's cool that we hit over 70. That's awesome. Y'all share it right now. Bob, by the way, from Everything Comics, is a huge Cowboys fan as well. He says Prescott and Jones. He agrees. Cooper's a lot of money, and he only performed well at home last year. That's worrisome. Plus, he played for Alabama. If I got to get rid of someone. But I think the most essential thing for the Cowboys is Dak Prescott. He is the future of that team. Oh, yeah. Okay, so the doom and gloom aspect of the Dan DiDio thing we didn't talk about yet. We'll get to the bat suit here in just a second. But Dan DiDio, him being fired is not the doom and gloom in the end of DC Comics. That's just bullshit that you're hearing from other people. That is absolutely just ridiculous. DC is not in danger of not being published. It's in danger of being restructured. That restructuring's been going on, okay? So that's nothing new. That's nothing crazy. There is no reason to be any kind of like, this could be doomsday for DC. Nah, they already did Doomsday Clock. They fine. They good. How did Wolverine sell this week? Very well. I think sell-through was very well. Now, it was heavily ordered already by shops, so those sales numbers are there. But was sell-through good? Like, did people actually pick it up off the shelves? In my experience, in my knowledge, yes. And I think most people really liked it. Dak is elite, in my opinion. He's just not been utilized properly. Brooke, I 100% agree with you. And me and Bob were talking on Friday night about how we hope that Mike McCarthy can shake that up. I think I like Jason Garrett enough, but like he should have been let go a while ago. I don't think he was very inspiring to that team. Cooper wants $19 million at this point, I read. Yeah, see, I just let him go. I'd be like, thanks for the memories. Which really sucks because I pre-ordered a pop of Amari Cooper in Cowboys gear, and I haven't actually bought it yet. I have not read The Wilds yet, the Vita Ayala book, but I have it right over there. So one day I'll get to it. If Jerry could rent Tom Brady, is that okay with you? No. Dak. It's got to be Dak. Yeah, Brooke, maybe they did need somebody younger with more bold ideas, but as long as Jerry's got those reins, I think is one of the best ones we were going to get. I'll tell you this, though. McCarthy owned the Cowboys when he was at Green Bay. He kind of beat us all the time. Well, Bob, I completely agree with you. Plus, I mean, do we still have Cobb? Cobb is an asset as well. So we got some assets. We got Cobb and, I can't remember the other dude's name. So I just think that, No, we were shorted our black and white plot number 1, so I hope I can get a copy. If I can't get a copy, maybe I just need to call in my favors at Vault. Oh, that always sucks. I feel bad for those who bought Raiders Antonio Brown pops. That's hilarious. Aaron Rodgers is the most talented quarterback ever, but Mahomes is coming. Yeah, Mahomes is. Cobb's a free agent. I'd rather re-sign Cobb. Gallup, you're right. That's the other guy, Gallup. Gallup is all the Cowboys have. I think Gallup's good, but I think we could get somebody else. Yeah, Sean, I'd totally take Dak over Brady. Brady only, yeah, I'm serious. All right, what do y'all think about that new Batman costume? So we got these paparazzi shots or whatever, right? So I see so this got posted in the PCP Army. I think Jelani posted this. And there was some divisive opinion about this. Now, for my opinion, the first thing that I want to point out is, firstly, this is a stunt double in a costume filming a scene. And this is somebody like on set or off set taking some photos. This is not how this suit's going to come across on film. We ain't got the proper lighting or color grading or anything like that, okay? So there's that. But looking at how they shot that first look that actually had Pattinson in the suit and it was all like red looking, so it kind of looked like he was Daredevil a little bit. They released that because they knew this was coming. They were like, well, we're going to film outdoors, and this dude's going to be in the bat suit on the bat cycle, and there's no way we're going to be able to prevent this, right? That's why they did the same thing with the Joker first look. They put the music in there. They had the coloring. I think it looked cool. So knowing what that looked like, that translation, if you look at this suit, and then you look at that bit there, the first look, you can kind of see where they're going. And I think it's fine. I don't mind it. Now, some people were complaining about the gauntlets, but it didn't bother me. And I don't mind those gauntlets. Like, first of all, he looks like he's got some like darts there or something, and maybe that's just maybe he's just going to have that, or maybe it's just something he's wearing at one certain point. Anyway, I don't really mind the suit itself. I think the suit itself looks fine. And the idea that the bat signal, the symbol on his chest is actually the gun that murdered his parents is a little weird, but whatever. So, what I will say, I don't know about those ears, y'all. So, he's wearing this, like, armored up bat suit. It's very reminiscent of something like the Arkham games, right? And he's got those lenses over his eyes, and, like, I guess that's fine. That looks a little weird. But he's basically wearing just like a leather mask cowl thing there. And yeah, it looks fine, I guess. But it looks a little weirdly shaped there towards the back. And I don't know if I necessarily like the shape of the ears. I think I would prefer shorter, thicker ears. Very much like Greg Capullo. And somebody here was mentioning, are they basing it on 0 Year? Well, Jim Mint did a really great video where he compared it to 0 Year, and maybe they're doing that. There's a shot in particular of Greg Capullo drawing him on the bike. And yeah, I think it kind of looks fine there, but yeah, no purple gloves. But aside from that, I think that the suit itself looks fine. I think it will look even better on screen. Now, even though the cowl looks a little weird to me there, in that first look, the cowl did not look off at all. So, maybe with the right lighting, I don't know about those ears. It looks a little weird in the back there, doesn't it? Like it's a little loose or something. But, I don't know. We'll have to see. But one thing I do like is that bat cycle. I think that looks pretty dope and pretty fire and pretty cool. And I'm groovy with it. See what everybody else says. But Wannabe says, the ears do not bother me. I always feel like the ears could be used to get people off his back. That's true. This is obviously a homemade version, 2 or 3 suit to me as well. Yeah, this may not even be the final suit. Brooke says they like the ears a lot. I don't like my Batman to have huge ears. I love the idea that it's the gun that killed his parents. Bring on the Kelly Jones bat ears, it's time. The gauntlets are very samurai, I feel. Head's too big, Jam Session says. Brian says, Snake Eyes, Batman. The helmet should have been made of metal, Franco says. The cowl looks more like something of a bug than Batman, John says. Roger says it's Midnighter as Batman. Comics Mist Explained is here. What's up, Jason? It's a bad costume. It'll be better on film, but still. Jason's not been down with his costume. In fact, he just wants people to get over this speculation and just admit that it sucks. And maybe it does. Reggie says he digs it. I don't mind it. The cow's a little weird. The cow's a little weird, but I think it looked fine on that set, and I don't mind the costume itself. The costume looks fine to me. But anyway, that's what I thought about it. Just the head and cowl, they can CGI some of that stuff anyway. You're right. 100% they can. Robbie, do you think DiDio's departure will affect the direction of 5G? Do we still get a 5G? Yes. We talked about this a little bit already. Maybe 5G was always meant to be a placeholder in a convergence style type thing. That's a great point that Slime brought up. That makes a lot of sense, actually. So I think it's still going to happen, but I don't think it's going to be, and maybe it was never meant to be quite the line-wide effect, permanent change that we all were kind of led to believe by some of the rumors and speculation. Kind of looks like World War II era, maybe. Yeah, the back cowl, yeah, it definitely feels like that. Feels like that to me. Night Thrasher's Batman, now that doesn't look near as cool as Night Thrasher's helmet. Come on. Do Dwayne better than that. I'm really kind of pumped for the New Warriors to come back, I'll be honest. Yeah, I'm having that audio disturbance again. Robbie, did you talk in any past live streams about the Bad Idea comics? Not in any previous ones, but we did tonight. I think it was kind of early on. Sorry if I'm backtracking too much, but why did DC fire Dan? DC let go of Dan, I think because he was a scapegoat. I think there's a big restructuring going on. And I think he was a scapegoat, but I also just think that there needed to be a new direction and a change of leadership at DC. So, yeah, Kibblesmith is writing the New Warriors one. Hey, as long as Dwayne is represented correctly, I'm cool with it. Well, the New Warrior series now is just going to be a mini-series. If it sells well enough, it could go ongoing, but I don't think it's going to have strong sales. I have Champions level sales, maybe a little bit low. Oh, they definitely lost some momentum after Rebirth. They didn't foresee Doomsday Clock taking so long. So it's a mistake. Dan DiDio takes the brunt of that, and that's what he does. And some of the things I heard creators say about him was that whenever they were getting flack from either the comic book fans or the industry or anything, editorial, the executive aspect of it, Dan was always there to take that blow. That was his job. That's his job. That's your job as a leader, is to take all the shit from everything, right? And Dan DiDio used to do that and did it very well, according to most of the people that I've heard talk that worked for him. Yeah, I think the New Warriors need Nova. I'm an OG New Warriors guy, so I want Night Thrasher, I want Nova, I want Firestar, I want Justice, I want Rage, I want Silhouette, I want Speedball even. Yeah, Speedball. Sure, why not? I don't know about wannabes. That's beyond me. I just speculate. Anybody else excited for that new Warrior show? Because I am. So Bob said we're over 80 now. Wow, we got 80 people in here right now. Only 55 likes. So, we always try to do this thing where we have just as many likes as people in the chat. And now that we have over 80 people here, that may be a little bit difficult, but I'll take it. But hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. It really helps us out here. I really appreciate everybody being here tonight. It must be because we were talking about Dan DiDio. Did you forget it? How did you feel about Penance? To be honest, I'm a big Warren Ellis fan, so I thought that was a really interesting take on the character. of Speedball. And I dig it. I didn't like it at all. I mean, I didn't mind it at all, I should say. I thought Pinnis was pretty cool. Speedball's always been kind of doofy to me. Always kind of doofy to me. So, that's just me. Well, the new book, Thomas, is going to be the OG New Warriors. They're just training the new generation. So I could do without that aspect of it, but whatever. I'm just happy to have a new Warriors book. Is the new Warriors show finally happening? No. I think that thing's shelved. I would like to see it, though. At least release it on Disney Plus, just as a miniseries, one season. I'd like to see it. You want that Marvel Legends Rage figure? Nah. I'm just going to stick with the Night Thrasher. Because I also saw they were doing that Mach 1. That looks amazing. I know he's not New Warriors, that's Thunderbolts. But if I got the Rage figure, I'd have to get a Nova figure. But they haven't done a Kid Nova. I want like the red suit Nova. Maybe I do want the Rage figure. I don't know. David Hatch has to peace out. Take care, homies. Notice my hip lingo. Oh, Brooke, you're right. Warren Ellis is totally an icon. Absolutely. Let me think on the Rage figure. That would be cool to have Night Thrasher and Rage. What if they did a silhouette? Then you'd have to get the Rage. They haven't done an old school Firestar or a Justice yet, though, right? Have they done a Speedball? They haven't. They did Nova, I know, but it's not. It's not the Nova. I need a classic looking Nova. I get 90s looking Nova. What cover will you pick up for the Green Lantern special? I don't know. I kind of like that Liam Sharp one a lot. Anyway, peace out, David Hatch. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, they did do a Darkhawk Marvel Legends, didn't they? Did they do Namorita? I forgot about Namorita. And Darkhawk. Darkhawk came a little bit later. Then I might as well get a Scarlet Spider. When's it end? I think I'm cool with just Power Ranger toys for right now. Damn, that reminds me. Continue the Wildstorm revival. Yeah. Oh, dude, I want that Warren Ellis Wildcats book so bad. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, though. What's up, CMA? We talked a lot at the beginning of the stream about the cameo, first appearance, full appearance controversy over Punchline. I think that controversy is just going to continue to be present in the comic book community. Me, I think the first appearance is the first appearance. If it counts for Darkseid being a face on a TV monitor in a Jimmy Olsen comic, yeah, I think they all count. Whether it's Venom, Carnage, Wolverine, whatever. Gambit, Punchline, Major X. Aquapool. Oh, man, that could be funny, but I don't know if I'd like it. They did a Kid Nova Marvel Legends. I'm talking about Kid Nova like from the 90s, like when he's in the red suit. Are you thinking about Sam Nova? Yeah, Eric, the way that the Wildstorm book ended by Warren Ellis, I'm so primed and pumped for a new Authority and a Wildcats book, and I just don't know if it's going to happen. The Green Lantern special is the 80th anniversary special, and it's April or May, right? Something like that. Who do you think should play Moon Knight? Timothy Olyphant. I've said that so many times. I am 100% down for that. I would love that. Have you talked about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp? I don't want her on Aquaman 2. No, I haven't heard about that. I mean, I haven't talked about it. I've heard about it. I've heard about Heard. Just goes to show, you never know. Don't let, just don't, I don't know, it just, you never know. We're not getting the full first appearance of Punchline until issue 92 of Batman, Bob says. Full appearance meaning that she will be integral to the story in the book. See? the debate about cameo versus first full appearance is always going to be ongoing. Everybody's got their thoughts on it. Aqua Baby should be called Gideon. Hey, 1-2 Comic Talk is here. What's up? My first time being here, and it was because of DiDio. I will be back because it's fun. Thanks again, Robbie, for Wonder Woman Dead Earth. No problem, John. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Glad you had fun. Yeah, Hamburger Basket, you're right. Olympia, Black Stars Above, and Ice Cream Man out this week. Al from Married with Children should play Moon Knight or maybe Joe Pesci. There's Sean's opinion. Brooke agrees. I'm right there with you. I agree with Sean and Brooke. I that's just me, but whatever. Yeah, as Everything Comics pointed out, I mentioned this earlier, but yeah, Bob and Bueller did a whole episode of the Comics and Coffee Show. The new Comics and Coffee Show. Or is it Coffee and Comics? Anyway, they did a whole episode about it. Really good stuff. Kid and Puke, Dollar Comics Amethyst, any good? Yeah. Yes, very much so. In fact, I meant on the break to change these out. There's my first appearance of Galactus and my second appearance, and Silver Surfer as well. I told you guys last week I'd have them here to let you know that I do have them. And I told you about the stripped cover on my number 48 right there. But I got some number 1 issues here I really wanted to show off. And one of them is the Amethyst. So there's my Amethyst number 1. We're now in the show and tell portion of the program. There's my Amethyst number 1. That's the one that's coming out in the Dollar Comics this week. It's Coffee and Comics. But the other number 1, you guys ready for this? This is one of the most difficult number 1 issues ever to find. Y'all, I'm so lucky. I got an X-Force number 1 by Rob Liefeld. Can you believe it? And it's still in the poly bag. It's never been opened. I think I'm going to fund PCP now with this. So there you go. But yeah, check out the Amethyst. I mean, it's not going to change your life. It's silly. It's one of my guilty pleasures, but I mean, I love it. I love it in the way that I love Jim and the Holograms. Yeah, I got the Galactus thing here because we're going to be opening up some Heralds of Galactus tonight. What card is in there? That's a good question. That's a good question. Because this book's worth even more if it's a Deadpool card. It's Sunspot and Gideon. Lord. Still in the back. Believe it or not, I got this for less than $1. Suckers. I just thought it'd be funny if I had the first and second appearance of Galactus and the Silver Surfer behind me, and then I moved it to Amethyst and X-Force. Oh, no, I already have an open copy, Ed. I don't need to open that one. But maybe I should. Maybe I should upgrade to a Deadpool card. Personally, I'd like the Cable card, so. Liefeld is off his rocker. He and a few other people in the industry. Off his rocker. All right, so we told you that we were going to open up some Heralds of Galactus. So yeah, it's Galactus night here. That was my Fantastic Four 48 and 49. Now they're covered up by Amethyst and X-Force. There's two awesome Galactus figures there. The one of them talks, the other one makes noise. But Galactus, what do you have to say about it? I don't know if y'all can hear that, but that was pretty dope. So, last week we opened up a few Fantastic Four figures. Tonight we're going to open up some Fantastic Four figures, and we still got some time to go, so stick with us. So, first we're going to open up Silver Surfer. Tonight we're focusing on the Heralds of Galactus. Silver Surfer. This is the figure. It's not the first Silver Surfer figure there ever was. But from the Fantastic Four animated series, this is what goes along with that Galactus right there. So let's open it up. Because recently I've done a lot of rearranging in my room, in the studio here. And I've got a lot of toys, and I need to make some room. And open toys take up less room, so toys are meant to be opened and played with, so let's do it. I remember that now. Okay, so this Silver Surfer figure, first of all, super cool. It's from Series 1. Now, in Series 1 of Fantastic Four, there was a Reed figure, there was a Thing figure, but there wasn't a Johnny or a Sue figure. Oh, man. That arm does not want to move. You got to be so careful with some of these old toys as you first move the joints. Okay. Anyway, so they did repaints of figures so that they rushed out a Johnny and a Susan. Sue was like a generic, it was the Spider-Woman figure. They repainted it. It was Sue. They repainted this figure, and it was the Human Torch. Now, I have it somewhere, but not available right now. I'll grab it next time, and we'll do a comparison. But they repainted this figure for a Human Torch figure for the same line. I love the chrome finish. He's got bendable ankles, which is cool because of his surfboard. His surfboard has these little footholes in it where you can put them in. And it's also got this little ring on it so you can put them on your finger and glide Surfer across like this. How cool is that? My other favorite thing about this figure, and I hated it at the time, but I love it now, is the arm right there. He's cool surfer dude. Cool surfer dude. So let's put him on the board. Now, they did a Toy Biz Surfer before this. I don't have that one right now, but I'm definitely looking for it because I love Series 1 Marvel figures from Marvel Superheroes from Toy Biz. In fact, I don't open those ones. I keep those in package. But, like, look at that. That's actually really cool. With the the hand placement and everything. It's a good-looking figure. That's a good-looking figure. Still is. The only problem with this ring thing is it's cool when you're a kid and you're like, woo, wee, right? But, like, I would always anyway just hold it like this. You know, if you're playing with it. Like, who plays with toys now? I do. Thanos, Bartman, you think you can stop me? Yes, we do. You wait. And plus we got a tiny little person version of Green Goblin. Anyway. But you couldn't, like, display him on this very well on a shelf because he has this in the way. But he also would kind of like aim up a little bit like he's popping a wheelie, which is kind of cool and very 90s. Yeah, he does. He looks like he's popping a wheelie. How cool is that? He's soaring the spaceways. So in honor of Galactus, can we get these off? First of all, straight up, Amethyst is one of my favorites, and I got every single Amethyst comic ever, so I'm super pumped for this week. I'm not even joking. X-Force was a little bit of a joke. But why not? There's some great Toy Fair announcements this week. Yeah, we got some people that really liking that Silver Surfer figure. Mezco does good stuff. I got the 112 Blade. I opened that up here a few weeks ago on the live stream. All right, so I said we were going to open up the Heralds of Galactus. That means more than one. CMA Thunder wants to know who else watches Westworld. Just saw the Season 3 trailer. Holy shit. Awesome. I have not watched that, but I hear really good things about it. And I know many people, many members of the Excitable PCP crew love it. So the next Herald of Galactus is my second favorite Herald of Galactus, first being Silver Surfer, Firelord. So we're going to open up this Firelord figure. Why do I love Firelord so much? It's in particular because when I was a kid, very young, like first reading comic books, like first couple years, There was a run where Spider-Man beat the shit out of Firelord, and it was amazingly awesome. So let's do it. Open it up. Whenever I do open these, though, I always keep the cards. So I remember this figure. I had all these figures. He shoots. Yeah, this his fire staff will shoot out a piece of it. So he's got his fire staff. I've never seen No, I've never watched Jack of Spades. Wait, you mean Jack of Trades? Are you talking about the Bruce Willis show? What are we talking about right now? All right. So there's this. And it snatches in there like that, right? It does that little thing. And then you click the button and it moves up. It fires off, I should say. Moves up. What? So I don't want to lose it. Anyway, so he'll hold it. And the way it's designed is he's got, well, there it just went anyway. The way it's designed is in his hand, he's got a little hole, and there's a little peg right there. So he holds it only one certain way. And that's this way. Oh, gee. Pardon me. This is part of the show. I don't know if people like the show and tell as much as I love doing it, but it seems like most people. I feel like it's just me like playing with toys. All right, we'll get this finalized at a later time, but basically that's it right there. There's the Fire Lord. He's a little sticky, like the Blastar from last week. But a cool figure. I don't know if we've ever gotten another Firelord figure. Head doesn't want to move. Oh, I forced that too much. Ron Lim Firelord. Enough said. You're right about that. Would you believe that we still got yet another Herald of Galactus? In fact, my third favorite Herald of Galactus. Terrax. Terrax the Terrible. Let's open up this one. Firelord obviously has fire powers. Terrax has earth powers. Hey, Comics Misexplained. Thank you so much for the super chat, making it worthwhile to open up these toys. Thank you so much, buddy. We really do appreciate that. You already support us at Patreons. You, Reggie, and others, you go far and above and beyond. So thank you so much. So there's the Terrax figure. This is a great character. The John Byrne run has some great Terrax moments. So he's got his staff. Oh, this figure feels nice. Oh, I loved this one. So he's got his staff, his axe, and that's cool. But he's got this asteroid that he rolls on, right? And so you can actually roll it back and it goes forward. We obviously don't have the space right now to show that off. But I always appreciated when toys did stuff like this. They would have an action feature. And sometimes, even if it wasn't prevalent in the toy itself, trust me, you can get him to stand on that. And he rolls across on this asteroid. How cool is that? So yeah, Terrax, Firelord, and old Silver Surfer, part of the Fantastic Four line that Galactus right there came from. Super cool. I just relived some of my childhood opening up these toys with y'all. So thank you so much. Heck yeah. That Terrax figure is badass. I've had these things for a while, but I'm just now opening them because I have to for space. Oh, Harold's totally beat the Furies. And in fact, speculator tip, there's a Fantastic Four movie coming from Marvel, and if you think they're going to do a Fantastic Four line of films without getting and building to Galactus as a big Marvel Cinematic Universe threat, you're fooling yourself. Dude, could you imagine if Big Barda was a Herald of Galactus? That'd be crazy, right? Anyway, some of these first appearances, Firelord, Terrax, even others, Airwalker, Plasma, who knows who they're going to use. But they'll definitely be using Firelord, Terrax, and Silver Surfer, for sure. Those are some First appearances that are not too expensive that maybe you should get on right now. Oh, Galactus should totally be the next big bad for the MCU. I think so. All right. As if I haven't plugged Patreon enough. Well, we got a new episode of Comics Revisited debuting this week. It's What If number 4. What if the invaders had stayed together after World War II? Me and Brooks are talking about this. It debuts this upcoming week on Friday. But our Patreon subscribers have access to it right now as we speak. But that's coming up on the channel this week. Also, tomorrow morning, my advanced review of Hellfighter Quinn number 1 from Mad Cave Studios is written by a friend of mine named Jay Sandlin. He's also the writer of Over the Ropes, which is a great, nifty comic book set in the world of 90s wrestling. And it's a great book. But Hellfighter Quinn is really good, especially if you like Bloodsport and Mortal Kombat. I think you'll really like this one. But my advanced review is tomorrow morning here on the channel. Got a few more things I want to show off. I would show off these more fully and like open them up in front of you, but they're pretty low grade, so I don't want to rip the cover off, for instance. So I'm a big fan of Brian Greene. Brian Greene has a new book, came out this week. I've got my copy in yesterday, Until the End of Time. If you've never read Brian Greene's work, I highly encourage you to do so. I would start by checking out the documentary series he did, Fabric of the Cosmos. Really good stuff. Yeah, Frankie Ray Nova, that would be a great figure. You know, I've been upgrading to some really nice hardcover editions lately of things. I got hardcover, the deluxe editions of Umbrella Academy and East to West, and now I've shifted my attention to Lock and Key, so I got book 1 of the Master Edition this week. Very excited for yet another cool upgrade. This is a really nice, nifty, beautiful edition of this book that I absolutely love. I showed this one off because we were talking about Matt Kent. Matt Kent's the writer of Folklores, has a new issue out this week. But Friday night with Bueller and Bob, I was talking, and I mentioned this one, and I had it right here next to me, so I figured, why not show this off yet again? This is my book 1 hardcover of Mind Management by Matt Kent. And I met him last year, and he signed it and drew this really nifty sketch inside for me. He was a super cool dude. So I wanted to show that off. And to finish off show and tell, I know everybody always opens up these boxes they get or whatever, and everybody knows I'm a big Star Trek fan, and everybody knows that I'm into the series and some of the toys and the novels and the comic books. And I've told you that I'm getting these comic book collections from Eagle Moss. And well, the new one arrived this weekend, and I haven't opened it, so I figured why not open it up and see what's going on. Figured why not open it up here on a stream. Everybody else opens up these things, right? Luckily, I got some scissors right here. You know, when I first got this, and basically when this is done in hardcover, I'll have every Star Trek graphic novel, every Star Trek comic book ever done. From Gold Key to IDW. Marvel, DC, all that. And when I first started getting these, I'd be looking, I'd be like, what's coming next? What's coming next? What's coming next? But now I don't even know what's coming next because I have so many of them and I've fallen behind on them. So, but I just hit volume 40 and 41. So volume 40 is Star Trek Parallel Lives. So this one, what is this one from? Captain Kirk of the Kelvin timeline. So this is IDW, more recent stuff. And then this one is the Mirror Universe Saga from DC Star Trek, The Next Generation, the Mirror Universe Saga. So this is some of the DC stuff from the 90s. So like I said, it really has everything as far as Star Trek comics go. Everything from the newer stuff to the old school stuff. Right now I'm actually reading my Marvel Comics Volume 1, which is it's written like Marv Wolfman. Dave Cockrum is the artist of it. Like crazy, right? And it's the first 3 issues are like an adaptation of the motion picture, and then it has some original stories set right after, and that's pretty interesting. CMA Thunder says, love me some Brian Greene, best theoretical physicist author going. Time doesn't exist. It's just a human construct. Right. Too bad it's not a Teen Dog Shades night. Maybe I'll read this book and we'll do another Teen Dog Shades night. Let's see how quick I can read it. Brooks says, do you like Picard? I've only seen the first 2 episodes, but I really did like it. So there's 3 more for me to check out. I've been really invested in his Dark Materials right now. Really liking that one. And I'm like 4 or 5 episodes into that. But I'll definitely get back to Picard right after that. I met Matt Kent at Heroes Con last year. Heroes Con in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was a beautiful town. I've never been there before. It was a great city. It was a great con. It was amazing. I like both Tom Green and Brian Greene, so I run the gambit for sure. Sean, I'm right there with you. I'm a big fan of both of them as well. Matt really likes Picard, and Brooks says his Dark Materials was so good. Yeah, it starts off slow. It's got a nice pace to it, but it is slow, but I'm really digging it. And I was a big fan of Golden Compass, and it really bothered me that they never did the rest of them films. And I always meant to go and read the book series, but I haven't yet. But it's nice. Anyway, this has been the most successful live stream that we've had so far ever here at Rockin Robbie Live. And thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. We have some great donations from you out there in the community. We really appreciate your financial support. You can also financially support us at Patreon, patreon.com/PCP. You can do so and join David, Alex, Adem, Nelson, Brian, Dean, Jason, Brian, Reggie, Robert, Javi, Peter, Dunlaney, TJ, Monmeet, Timo, and David as well. And we got new patrons who are going to be getting shout-outs starting next week. Very excited. Another thing coming up here on the show, what do we got coming up this week? Like I said, next week, or tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, my advanced review of Hellfighter Quinn #1 from Mad Cave Studios is live on the channel. Today we talked about the Batman. Not so sure on the ears, but I really like that cycle. I don't mind the costume. We talked about Dan DiDio. If you're on Patreon, you have access to the What If #4 episode of Comics Revisited, the first of our final 4 episodes from Comics Revisited Season 2. The Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo is coming April 18th and 19th. We will be joined by Liana Kangas as our guest, artist of She Said Destroy. Very excited for that. You can follow me on Twitter at @TheRockinRobbie. You can join the PCP Army, the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. Please do so. Brian Greene did say that 89 is the first appearance. Hellrisen is second, so it's settled. I'll tell you what, if you are a fan of Brian Greene, then you know that at least somewhere in the multiverse, there is a Brian Greene, or 2, or 3, or 4, that did say that. There's a Brian Greene who is doing Pop Culture Philosophers, and there's a Rockin Robbie Billups who is a theoretical physicist at the forefront of string theory. Oh, thank you so much, CMA Thunder. Really do appreciate that. Another super chat helping us. If you noticed, we got a new camera. And so if the video looks better, it's all because of you. So thank you so much. This has been a hell of a live stream. We really do appreciate it. Got a big announcement. Friday night, 8 p.m. U.S. Central Time. I will be joined by a panel of comic book YouTubers, and we will be having the new launch of our monthly meetup. Comic book YouTuber monthly meetup. I don't know what I'm calling it yet. We're going to keep moving it around channel to channel, different guests, kind of like what we did with Jim Mint, but maybe just once a month and moving it around. But it's going to be fun. So I know that I'm there. Bueller, I know, is interested. A bunch of other people are interested. I think Bob was interested. Dylan, I know, is down. That son of a bitch is always down. But me and a bunch of other comic book YouTubers talking about our favorite comic books of February. That will be this upcoming Friday night. So be there. Or be square. It's February 28th, 8 p.m. U.S. Central Time. So I'm very excited for that. But yeah, it's been a great live stream. We really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. We'll do another live stream next week. Also this week, the weekly comic book review, the top 10 comic books of the week, and maybe another advanced review I'm starting to get caught back up on them. I got a few more to do. Join the Future, the new Zach Kaplan book. I got a copy of the new Zach Thompson book from Vault. So be expecting some early looks and early opinions on books. Anyway, thank you all so much for your support. We really do appreciate everything. I've been Rockin' Robbie Billups. Thanks for rocking with us. Y'all keep it real this week. Have a great one.